Hi, welcome to the episode. We are so excited that you decided to stop by and watch us again. But welcome to the episode. We're excited for today. What are we talking about?
So today, what I wanted to bring to the table is this. Between parents and kids, there's a hidden contract.
Yes.
Yes. It's just that we haven't yet agreed on what the terms are of that contract. So what I want us to discuss today is, what do parents owe their children and what do children owe their parents?
Simone with the deep topics.
Now, wow. Okay. So
Yeah, I want to get into it.
You want to get into it? Okay, cool. Let's get started. I feel like we kind of have similar backgrounds in the way we grew up, like maybe same context and whatnot. And we have this mentality that, all the things that I didn't have growing up, I want to make sure that my child has that. So my question is that, how do you feel about that sentence, for one? Do you agree, disagree? And then I'll ask you the next one.
Yeah, I think for me, it's hard to either agree or disagree, but I think it's mostly for me like something that I need to pay attention to. Like, are you truly doing what's best for your child or what you wish you had?
Yes.
And I think there's a fine line between that, like you're trying to heal yourself or your inner child through that child.
Exactly.
Right? So,
yeah.
But it could, there's a fine line between you're doing it because of love and this deep love, or there's just a fine line between love and trauma.
Yes, recovering from trauma.
You're recovering from not forgiving yourself and your parents.
Yes, all of them.
All of us. How the society brought you up.
Yeah.
And you want to give all of that to your child.
Yes.
So I would say I lean more towards like, that statement is very unsettling for me. So lean more towards like, I disagree with that statement. Like everything I did not have, I want to give my child. But people say it a lot, but I know, I guess I assume it comes from a place of love.
Yeah, I understand the place it's coming from, but do we actually want to give like everything you didn't have? It's like everything really.
To your child.
Yeah.
For me, no.
Yeah.
So I don't really agree with it. Now, if it's things I feel differently versus if it's, I just want to make sure parents pay attention, right? Like, when you want to do things, am I doing this because I think it's really good for this child, or I'm doing it because I didn't have it, so the next generation has to have it?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. And I feel like even as parents, like, I feel like we're just trying to heal ourselves from like all the
last.
When I have my own family. What I'll do when I have my own family.
Like, I used to tell my mom I can't wait to grow up so that I'll have my own freezer.
Yeah.
so that I can eat whatever, how many meats I want, whenever.
Talking about that thing of meat, for me, like growing up, I went to a boarding school at some point, and like you didn't really have like good protein or whatnot. So for me, a part of me when I started also with my daughter, it's like, I want to give her meat. But she don't like meat.
She likes tofu. I'm like, which kid likes tofu? Yeah.
So it really brought the thing to forefront of like, me giving her that. Is it actually because like
the person is good for
her, or just because I'm like, let me revenge everybody?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's actually true.
And then there's also another point that you briefly touched on, where like separating between things and maybe like experiences and maybe toolkits that your kids can call on. I think for me, if it's like the things, like physical things, material things, I think I need to be more cautious there. But if it's, I think, maybe like advantages, like quality of education, for me, I lean into that. And maybe that's because I like education, but...
I mean, that's it. Maybe that's it. But there are also, even for something like education, you still have to be careful.
Yes.
Because like, when many times I'm like, one of the things you won't hear me talk ever about extracurricular activities I did in terms of physical sports or activities like that. I did a lot of debate, a lot of those kinds of extracurriculars. But I wish
extracurricular that was moving
me academic.
What was sports do for you?
So I did do a lot of like something that
piano,
something, like, so when I find myself wanting my daughter to be in 5 activities per time, I begin to ask myself, is that
Why?
really, like, why?
Why?
Is it because you think she needs 5 activities to grow? To develop, to be exposed to those things. So I still think even within that bucket you call education, like, as an example, sometimes, like, when you are getting your child to go to a school that you can't afford, and I'm a beneficiary of that, right? I've gone to really great schools that my mother could not afford, especially after my dad died. But you have to start asking yourself, is that because she didn't have the education and she wanted, which is a good thing. I'm extremely grateful for that. I don't think I'll be here without my mom's sacrifices. But you also need to pay attention to those things. It could be good. But
the challenge is that at that age, it's hard for a child to give you the input of, like, let's take the education piece. For example, going to a really good school. You're like, okay, is it that I want her to go to a good school to get more skills or better quality education, or because she wants to go there? At that point, it's hard for them to evaluate.
No, not or because she wants to go there, or because I just think anything school, she has
let's
to
first
be...
do school.
she has to go to the best of schools because it's something I didn't have. I just still feel like there's something there.
Yes, I mean, to check ourselves.
But I'm okay with it. The child goes to a good school. Hello, I'm not complaining. Like, so I'm grateful. But I'm just saying, like, with anything, you need to... You are still helicopter mom in a different way.
You're just expressing it in a
very different way.
In a different way.
So, and I see it a lot with activities here where parents are putting their kids in, like, 5 activities.
And we'll come to that topic because I actually want us to talk a little bit about how parenting has shifted from kids adapting to parents' lives versus, like, parents adopting.
Well, the ones adapting now.
But we'll come to that a little bit. What I wanted to go to is, you talked a bit about education, but let's see, what do you think are, like, basic needs and, like, okay, just excesses? Would you term, for example, if your toddler is first class, constant, is that a basic need? Is that something that, you didn't have growing up, so your toddler should experience it? Or are you of the mindset that, no, suffer head first?
Guided suffer head first. No, but, like, I think it depends on the context and situation.
Okay.
Like, if the parents are always in first class, I mean, don't put your 3-year-old in economy.
You cannot do that.
Except you hire a nanny or something to sit with the parents, which is another topic entirely, right? To sit with the child. Right. But I won't go out of my way, as an example, if I were not in first class, to buy a first class ticket because of my child. Like, that doesn't even make sense
at all.
Right.
Yes.
So, because maybe their head will be aching, their neck will, like, let it ache.
Would it be the first time? Everybody knows.
What is this world without headaches sometimes? Right. So I think it depends. If the parents are there, it just depends on because you also don't want to deprive yourself just because you want your child to suffer. Don't worry, life will help your child learn suffering. And sometimes there's also that balance. You don't want to over-engineer suffering. Don't worry, suffering is...
No, life can...
Don't worry about that. If they don't suffer financially, there's suffering...
There's another way,
right? Maybe they will chop breakfast or something from one guy.
Like,
don't worry. Life by itself is already preparing, some sort of hardship for even the best of us, right? So I don't think you should also engineer suffering. I just think you have to be mindful, right? When I'll give you a tiny example. When some of my friends say, we're having a baby, so we need a 5-bed, they go buy a 5-bedroom or a 4-bedroom. I'm like, you just say you want
it. Don't use the child.
Like, because what we all know, for maybe the first 5 years, even that child is in your bed.
They are looking for you.
That child is in your bed. So you are pregnant. You go buy a 4-bedroom and you think somehow. Anyway, you deserve it because you worked hard.
And you are pregnant.
You want space.
You're growing a human being.
Yes.
Just own it with your full chest.
Own it with your chest. Right? Don't come to me saying, our family is growing. Growing how? This one child.
The child will sleep in one and then other bedrooms for.
Okay, I guess.
I don't know.
And then they have 2 rooms for the child's playthings. I'm just like,
there's also there's also something that needs to be said about like the over consumerism.
Oh, especially in this part of the world.
Yes, but that's something that we can talk a bit more about. I think for me, I liked your point about like not over engineering suffering. Like everything should not be a hard thing. And like weird enough, I was walking out the other day and I thought like one thing that would be important for me is for my child or my children to feel like home is a safe place also. Like where, like if the world is really hard, you can come. Like last, I can shall go home.
Yeah, but
not as a quick escape, but I just feel like sometimes you need a refuge, like a respite.
Home should be like refuge.
Exactly.
But I guess my question then is, when do you now expose the child to some hardship? Because let's think about like the kind of society we now live in. Our kids don't even walk to school.
Yes.
They don't walk to school.
Yeah.
Teacher can't talk to them anyhow. Teacher can't do much.
Teacher cannot do much, if any.
Yeah. Yes. And then you pick them. Yes. They also don't walk to swimming or all those extra.
Or even like playing. I felt like playing was not contrived.
Now we are planning the play dates.
Yes.
Everything on calendar.
Yes.
Our kids don't know how to go talk to the neighbor's kids.
Yes. How to play without toys.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
how to create toys from cardboard.
Exactly.
Like sometimes
Yes.
Like we took our daughter to our neighbor that just moved here, and I realized she doesn't know like how to do, is this person my classmate?
Yes.
Like who is this?
Yeah.
Before, those are the skills you're building. You go and negotiate, fight about your ball.
Yes.
Fight up, like
yeah.
So if you don't create hardship at home or suffering or over-engineer the suffering at home or something, how then do you expose these kids to some of the things that came naturally for us?
Yeah, and to be fair, I feel that a lot of our drive
came from some of those things.
Came from that hardship.
That your friend that is taller, bigger than you negotiating with that person.
Yes.
And their older siblings.
Yeah.
Crying at first, and like those are the skills. That's when we learn problem solving.
Yeah.
Now we have to hire a teacher to teach problem solving. We have to hire a teacher for this one. Ordinary soccer, they're not playing outside. We need to pay.
Yes.
And then the teacher has a curriculum
for them to follow, as opposed to like just building the natural social skills that you need to thrive. Which I think is also like a really interesting topic of like how do you ensure that they still have like necessary friction for growth? Because I think friction is needed, but not friction in every, like gonna be suffering on all fronts. Pick a struggle.
And to the topic of friction, I also feel like we're now living far away from our cousins.
Yes.
I grew up with my cousins coming before they hear hall. They are in my house. Holiday, before they even say hall,
and they're leaving school.
Like they are coming, their parents bring their bills later.
Yes.
You know, like we're living so far away, sometimes continents apart.
Yeah.
So like, Max, you have 3 kids. If you even have 3 kids in this,
you are doing it. You are trying.
We need to award.
You're trying. You're trying.
Like, but some of those things that came with like cousins and the friction, because even if you're very wealthy, you have a comfortable house, but some of those your cousins are not coming from a comfortable and they will bring that energy.
That's the energy you have to match. And even the friction that you as an adult is creating with a child is different from like peer friction, which is what I think.
Yes, that's I don't want to share my toy, you share it.
Yes.
Or or the cousins that will grab it. Tomorrow
do your work.
So like there's just like, but I don't know how to answer the question of like how do you create the friction. I just feel like as a society, we are trading off some good stuff for worse ones or bad things, and then we pay to get back the good stuff. Like I'm going to move away from my family to pursue greener pastures. Then I will hire a nanny for what grandma
was providing,
done. And then to support the nanny, maybe an au pair, and then I will pay.
I remember you're in this like endless cycle. You're like
endless cycle.
Grandma should just be here.
Yes. Or my sister or auntie or someone will grow up with auntie and uncle. So now I'm just like,
It's hard.
It's hard.
I think that's the reality of it, like parenting, especially now, is hard because some of the, and I don't know if new frictions will emerge just from the virtue of like, okay, they're growing up. There will be something that will be difficult. It might
a different kind of
difficult.
friction.
Yeah, like their difficult might not be our difficult.
Difficult, yeah.
And
that's
also
true.
maybe it's not fair to expect that in a different environment, their difficult should be our difficult.
Yeah.
So
what's their own difficult?
Maybe it's just the isolationism of the setup that we're
okay, well, maybe
I don't know.
I don't know. And there's also something to be said about like as a parent that grew up in a very different environment.
Yes.
Raising a child in a completely
where like metrics of like, I don't want to say success, but metrics of like even value and appreciation in the household look very different because of like cultural backgrounds. Like, for example, I feel like where we grew up, provision was a very strong language of like love. Whereas like here, that's not.
You've not scratched the surface.
Do more.
Because you provided food.
Before, what were you supposed to do?
What were you? Why did you bring me here?
To go as well, huh? Okay. The other thing I want us to get into is the notion of like kids should be seen. That's like the very like traditional, at least maybe parenting style that we grew up. Kids should be seen and not heard.
Yeah, seen not heard.
Versus like here we're
heard.
In fact, kid-centric homes.
Yes.
Everything is built around the child. You come off, you're moving from thing to thing to thing. Like, what are your thoughts around that? For me, I find that both of them are extreme.
Yeah.
Both of them are extreme. And I'm not necessarily sure that they achieve. I feel like they put one party at a disadvantage. Either of those options.
Who is at a disadvantage?
So in like the parent-centric, kids should be only seen, not heard realm. Obviously, kids should have opinions. They should be able to be free. It's disadvantageous to them.
The kid. Okay,
in a world where everything revolves around moving from one child activity to another child activity, from one play date to sport, from sports to this, where the child cannot even sit with boredom. You have to curate the activity, curate the experience.
And now they see boredom as a bad thing. Like, Mommy, I'll be bored.
Okay.
What did I do about that?
Exactly. So for me, I feel like, and for me, I feel like both of them have their issues.
Yes.
And we're not talking enough about just not bending to every beck and call of like the kid-centric.
I mean, it's really difficult, especially in this in the country we live in. It's capitalism.
Yes, it's capitalism.
Right? There's something like I will see Simone as more successful when you have more money.
Yes.
When you can afford this kind of house.
Yes.
You see,
when you got me 5-bedroom.
5-bedroom.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in some other cultures, it's maybe you have 3 kids, or you have family around, you have help, you know. Yeah. So like, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a cost of capitalism.
Yeah.
There's a cost.
True.
Yeah, and the cost is that you can't just structure your home to be perfect or ideal. Because mommy too has to go and work.
How will she pay for daycare?
How will she pay for the daycare? Like some daycares are more than people's salaries. Even in the same city.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's all of those things. So I think it's difficult because of the life that we just live here. And now there's this over-reliance on, you know, I'm a parent, but like there's a lot of over-reliance on teachers or other people doing some things. Even we take the child to school, let's say as working moms, they go to school or daycare. Once they come back from there, swimming, climbing. By the time they come back, in fact, we're happy when they're tired.
Yeah.
So that all of us can see, because mommy too needs to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, mommy will rest from that. And okay, so which brings me like, what do you think the child loses when we're in this like fully child-centric mode? And what do you think the parents lose when they're in this full child-centric mode?
I'll tell you what I think the parents lose first. A lot of parents, and I already see it for myself, which I'm fighting so hard. By the time your kids go to college or leave the house, you don't know who you are.
Yes. All the parts that went into maybe building or creating your identity over time you haven't poured into them.
Yes.
So it's like, okay.
You've everything. All your friends are from your kids' school.
Yes.
All your activities are kid-centric.
All your vacations.
Kids. Every day we are checking, is it kid-friendly? When did my mother ever check if it's... Before we go anywhere, let's check if it's kid-friendly. Is it kid-friendly?
Yeah.
It will be friendly when we get there. So I think parents... over time, after raising kids for maybe 20 years, 25 years, raising 2 or 3 kids, you begin to struggle as an empty nester. Like, who am I now? And if the kids don't call you as often, you are angry.
Yes.
And you even move closer to them. And their wife or husband will be like, why is mommy always here?
You bring another topic up that we need to go into.
It. And I already see that myself. As I am,
after all this investment.
Yeah, I will move to my daughter. Forget. I will go and I'll have money. So
yes.
I don't.
Well, like to stay with you. But let me be your neighbor.
Let me be your neighbor. So anything I can jump.
Yeah. Come and take lunch with you.
Come and hello, I cook for you and your husband. Yeah.
Are you guys coming?
Yeah, that's a different kind of challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, parents are there's also something to be said about like parents helping you with raising the next generation and all of that. Yeah. But sometimes for some people, depending on who your spouse is, it could become too much.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm on these Facebook groups and people are writing that my husband is an only child, and I don't like his mother's involvement in our marriage. And I'm like, that woman is struggling.
Yes, and you can understand where she's coming from. Because she poured herself into that boy.
That one you think is your husband. Now you say she should just...
And do what?
What,
she doesn't have hobbies.
No job.
She doesn't have friends.
Nothing.
She's
is retired.
Yeah.
All her friends have been from the kids' school.
All her friends are looking for the kids to go and
sit with too. So there's all of those things. So I think that is one disadvantage to parents.
Yeah.
To kids, I just feel like a lot of kids now are growing up not knowing how to deal with being alone.
Yes.
Or not doing.
Or bored. Like that go. Like
and that's how you get into a lot of things. Vices or like...
Yeah. Or even burnout. Yes.
Burnout. But also that's when you start testing...
Yeah.
One drug or something.
Yes.
And it's from testing.
Yeah.
We enter...
It's enough from clapping. You think
that's right?
Yes.
So there's a bit of that as well. Like, you just don't know. Also, there's something about like there's this discomfort when your life is not planned.
Yes. Like sitting with that unstructured and even like the point around like agency and expecting people to plan your life for you, curate the experience for you, as opposed to saying that, okay, I'm bored. What can I do?
Yeah.
What can I explore?
What can I do? The creative things we used to do with cardboard.
Mod.
Now my daughter see Amazon cardboard everywhere. She does. She should create aircraft.
I'm telling you, the things you can build
from that.
Do you remember those wheels?
Yeah.
That you stick.
Now.
I also feel that like when you look at the proportion on average of time you spend as a child versus as an adult, you spend, on average, life expectancy is accounted for etc. You spend more time in adulthood than in childhood.
That's true.
And I feel that by overly curating, overly designing the childhood experience, I'm not convinced that we're like necessarily preparing them
for real
world and to be functional adults when they grow up.
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, yes, there's a topic of boredom. There's also the topic of like just staying with hard things. There's a thing of like, I don't necessarily have to intervene and make a play date for you. Make new friends. Go out.
Yeah. See, you come back and come and tell me, I would like to go on a play date with this person. Or can I visit this person?
Yes, as opposed to let me be looking for friends for you.
Yeah, it's always the parents reaching out and say, hey, we'd love to set up something with your daughter.
But is it initiated by the child?
By the child. And at what age should we expect that the child should be doing? They should start,
Yeah.
Where do you live? I would like to talk to your house.
Yes, yeah.
Like
I know. My daughter, she now tells me that I want to invite this person to my house. I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me. Now it's from this point that I can say that X, Y, and Z. Okay, but coming back to the mom who invested in the son and now wants to go and be a neighbor.
Yes. I have to be. I have to be.
What do parents owe their kids?
I think I wanted to say aura for aura.
Yeah.
But what do parents owe their kids?
Yeah.
I think at the very least, care for survival.
Yes, quality care for survival.
At least.
Yes, I agree.
Keep me alive now,
Yes.
as you know.
Yes, I did not choose to come here. Yes.
Right, like the basics: food, shelter,
clothing.
But we also know that life happens sometimes, and the fact that you have food, shelter, clothing today doesn't mean it's not guaranteed. Yes. All of us, one paycheck, we're
all figuring it out.
We're figuring it out. Yes. Or the Wall Street can be down and everything is wiped out.
Yes.
We
don't
had
no control.
You had no control.
Yeah.
Right? So life happens. But before life happens, at the time you're planning to bring me here, please plan for food, shelter, and the basics.
Yes.
So I think that's one thing parents owe. I think parents also owe their kids some sort of like discipline.
What do you mean?
Like, because you have seen this world a bit, you've seen some way you can help me prepare for it.
Yes, in the sense that not everything is permissible.
Yes. I think guardrails, please. Set rules.
Okay.
Some will not make sense, but when they get married and have their kids, let them go and do the ones that make sense. That's not my problem.
You've done your
in this house there are rules.
Hello?
Right?
Yes.
So some discipline to help me navigate the world.
Yes, as an adult.
I also think to an extent you owe your kids some presence.
Okay. What do you mean presence?
Now it's difficult because I'm working.
Sometimes those things are conflicting.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What do you mean by
presence? But presence, like, I don't want you to have a kid and somehow you've already budgeted for your child to be raised by your sister.
No, now.
Or at least the church can, or something.
No.
I'm just like,
no.
Parents need
at least some
kids need their parents to be present. And we can all define. I don't want to stay 24/7. Monday to Friday with my daughter, but we all know it's good for the quality time.
Yes.
We and the last thing, and probably number 1 or 2 on the list, if I were to rank, kids deserve a good home.
Okay, where does love come into place?
Like a home where there's love, where there's not home as in house.
Okay.
Like, do not bring me into a setup that is already shaking.
Yeah, chaotic.
Because I'll shake it more.
Actually, kids will test. They will test the foundation.
Yeah,
they will test it.
If you already know, as an example, maybe you and your husband are already talking about a divorce. If you can, I don't think that's to the best of your ability. That's not the time to bring in this set of twins or whatever, right? Because kids deserve love.
Yes.
And those things happening in the home, they shape those kids. So I'm already saying it with my daughter.
Even subconsciously.
Yeah. They shape. The moment one person hits the other person in the house, there's no love, daddy doesn't talk to mommy. They'll bring it. It shapes their lives in interesting ways, and you won't hear it on one day you go to school. Is their classmate? Is a teacher? Is teacher
that knows knows
all your stories. That's when you be like, oh, this child was capturing everything.
Yeah, I know. Like sometimes when my husband and I are talking, I feel we're talking about something non-trivial, and maybe our daughter is in the other room. She's doing something. We think she's playing, and then she will just answer. And we'll be like, you didn't know that this girl.
Yeah. But that doesn't also mean you shouldn't disagree in front of your kids.
No, I think it's about healthy conflict resolution.
Not the one where you now want to do the other extreme where you only show the kid love when the loving part or loving relationship you have with your husband or your wife, and when you want to disagree, say, hey, go upstairs, go and sleep. Then you disagree with the man and show him what you're made of downstairs. Right? There's that balance.
It's like healthy conflict. I mean, I understand that like some disagreements are more nuanced and even long. Like by long, I mean they're not something that like easily resolvable. They're more complex. And sure. But I think healthy conflict resolution is good. I like the things you touched on rather. Now, given that, let's assume that a parent does those things.
What does the
child owe the parent?
And I want to hear what you think about this. Okay. But like, what does the child owe the parent?
Yes.
I think if your parents are scared for you, you owe them care.
Yes.
If your parents are sacrificed for you, you owe them sacrifice.
Yes.
Please, let's be clear on that.
Yes.
Right? That's why, like, it varies by family, your situation and everything. But if your parents have sacrificed and you saw it, not that you weren't, you were aloof. But if your parents have sacrificed, you owe them sacrifice. Right? When we all say we want community, someone has to build that community.
Yes. Someone has to put something on the line. Yeah.
There's something on the line, right?
Yeah.
When your mother was, and again, there's a balance.
Yes.
Now, as a parent, don't come and tell me I left my job because of you. I didn't pursue my. That's true. But
to some extent.
You could have pursued a bit. Let me see doings, even from you, mommy. Let me see some doings, right?
At the end of the day, let me
see what's up. Not that because of you, I left college. Did you go back at some point?
When
did you try?
Yes.
You know, when I was settled a bit, right? So and all this because of you. I was not involved. You didn't. I didn't tell you. You didn't ask for my opinion, and you didn't tell me before bringing me here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
so
that was
please,
not
let's be clear. But all of that said, if your parents sacrificed reasonably, especially for the context in which you grew up, you saw that they did a little over.
They made an effort.
They made an effort over when all your friends or people in your I see some kids or some grown-ups now. You grew up in an environment that was so poor. But your mother, your father, somehow
they put it on the line. They put it on the line.
TV.
Yes.
They did everything for you to go to a private school. You owe them sacrifice. You owe them going out of your way to make their lives good.
Easier.
Right? So for me,
do you owe them success?
Your own success?
Yeah, your own success.
Yes. Because if you're not successful, how will you remember mommy? No, let's be...
What were you used to remember?
My mom usually told us that's when you made it that you remember. I'm secondary in your equation. If you've not made it to an extent, you actually not even remember it exists. And that's the truth.
That's true.
If you're still trying to put food on the table, so you owe them success.
When, at least for their own...
at least some minimum, you should be able to take care of yourself and remember them small. Now, everything has boundaries. Don't now make your mom or your dad call the shots over your entire life. And if you don't send them money, you're like, please.
In fact, don't put your properties. Move all your properties. But do you owe them obedience in that old age? Like pursuing the career that, I mean, they've invested in your education. They put it on the line. Do you owe them pursuing that career, that doctorhood that...
No.
No. Okay.
If they want to become doctors, they should go back to school.
But it's never for you now.
No, it's never. Now, go. At 70, go. If you're really passionate about medicine, I think you should go. Let me sponsor you now. You've sponsored me, I'll sponsor you. Go. Even if you die before you graduate medical school, I'm okay with it. You tried. You lived your life. You know, and I'll totally do that. I'll pay if my mom wants to go to medical school. Go now. Go. So you can at least show me it can be done. I'll pay for that. Yeah, go. It's not. I don't like it. You cannot. Now you don't have kids. You don't have this.
So what's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
I'm going to pay for you.
I'll pay. Go.
Just show
accommodation.
Up.
You show up. Go and become a doctor. Even if you end up, you know,
even if you don't practice,
go now,
collect the degree.
Not that. No, I don't owe them doing what they want, like career-wise.
I think that's 100% fair.
Now, do I owe them success?
Yes.
Whatever I choose to do,
I have to be successful.
I have to be successful. Because someone put their lives on the line. Don't be playing like that.
Someone put their life, their well-being, their health,
you know, their own success,
yes,
on the line. So I'll be reasonable. I owe you success. However way I define,
that's up to me.
That's up to me. What career I want. But I'll be successful, so I can also care for you and make your life a little better.
Okay, so what if the parents did not show up? I mean, you can say at the bare minimum they give birth to you. What do you owe them as a child?
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah, nothing.
Why?
Nothing. But
Why?
Just because you're asking what do you owe them? Nothing. What should you do for them can be different. Just out of, I will help someone that has no blood ties.
So at this point you're treating them as like maybe
closer to that.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I'm just telling you I don't owe them anything. Like I don't owe them anything.
Really?
Yes, because
why?
They all
I mean, you can make an argument that they brought you into the world.
Thank you. And that's the point I'm getting to.
Okay.
And I hate that argument. You know why? because we all think you're doing a child a favor by bringing them to this world. Do you know where I was and what I was eating?
What you're enjoying over there.
You know what I was enjoying there?
Peace of mind.
You have kids for yourself. I had my daughter for myself.
Yes.
And the moment I don't want more, I say no.
It is done.
It is done.
It is finished.
You know, we have kids for ourselves because there's something in us that we think having a kid will bring out.
Yes.
There's something you want to parent and looking for someone to love. You know, you have kids for yourself. You're not doing me a favor by birthing.
No, it's a selfish motive.
It's a selfish motive. Like, I was eating... I don't know if there's a word before this end.
But you were chilling.
I was chilling there.
You have peace of mind.
Don't worry about it. I had peace.
You have peace of
you
mind.
brought me here and what?
Oh, my head.
Like, what's going on here? Yeah, so I don't think kids owe you if you haven't sacrificed that or you've not been there for them. No. And I don't let people guilt me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I will stand my ground. I don't owe you.
Yeah.
I treat you well as a human being. Yes. And there's one more tiny thing I want to bring up here, especially in the context of where we grow up. This idea that your mom is only the person that biologically birthed you.
Oh, no.
I just can't.
No.
I'm like, you're not that much.
Yeah, no. And to be honest with you, growing up, that's another lesson that I learned from my mom. Growing up, my mom told me that if someone gives you a glass of water, you owe that person gratitude.
Yes.
That person did something that they did not have to do.
And they did it.
Yet they did it. So for even in our home, we don't necessarily call only our mom.
Yes,
we call our
we
aunties.
had 5 moms.
Yes, exactly. We call our aunties mom.
Yeah.
But like when we are talking with each other,
we know, we will say mommy Ibadan.
Exactly.
Mommy Lagos. Mommy this.
Yeah.
Because you can't say auntie.
Yeah.
But I think there's just something about that as well. Like, how do we raise our kids to understand, like, this auntie always caring for you.
Yes.
She's playing mommy role.
Yes, full
it's
time.
Not just your mom that is your mom.
Yeah. So
and
you owe her also.
You owe that woman as well.
Because she sacrificed.
Yes.
She put it on the line.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, going back to your question, I just feel like as a grown-up, if you had a mom, a biological mom who didn't quite care for you or she wasn't there, of course, everything is circumstantial, right? And then you had this neighbor auntie that played a huge role, played the mommy role in your life. For me, why would you leave that auntie and
now be like
caring for your biological mom? So for me, to answer your question, no, I don't owe you anything if you didn't care for me.
I mean, that's
now
fair,
I would use my church mind and do what I can.
I like that you use your church mind, but that's up to you. That's
up to
your
me.
discretion.
I don't owe you anything.
That's your
I'm
discretion.
not owing anybody.
Okay. So I mean, there's this whole thing around like kids are entitled or that kids can be entitled. Do you actually think that kids are actually entitled or they're just oblivious to the thing that you think is such a privilege for them? Let's take something very simple. Okay, maybe our toddler goes for, I don't know, climbing or whatever it is that she goes for as extracurricular. We may not have necessarily had that experience. And to us, we might feel like, we're really putting a lot to make that experience for her. But maybe she might see it as, okay, what should you have done before? So the question is that at what point is it like entitlement versus this is just her experience of life and it feels normal? And like, how can we disentangle like entitlement from they just grew up with a better life and that's probably okay too?
Yeah, I think it depends on the age.
Okay.
Now, if I'm hearing you as a 25-year-old man or woman saying... the tiny things that get to me.
Yeah, I know what you want to say. I didn't get to it.
Saying if my mom had done this, I won't be here. If my daughter had given me this.
Easy, run now.
Run
it.
For me, first off, if you're 25, anything I've done or not done on you, go and do it. Go and undo whatever. Go and fix it for me.
Fix it for
Thank
me.
you. Now, if we're talking about toddlers, they grew up where they grew up.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't grow up. They are not growing up poor.
Yes.
Whose fault is that?
Yes.
Like,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But when we begin to get to age 13, I feel like 13 is also a marker for me.
Yeah.
I want to start seeing sense.
Yes. Like self-realization. Yes.
And I feel like a lot of, at least the way, just speaking with grown-ups that have raised kids for a while, just to get insights from them. One of them told me, whatever you've not done with your daughter or taught her before 13, it's
consider it gone.
It's almost gone.
Yeah, consider it gone.
It's on God now.
Yeah.
One, surrender it.
Go and table it there.
Table it to the Father.
Yeah, because at this point.
Because, so like 13, 14 is another marker for me when they are starting these teenage years. That's our alarm. That timer, But like when they are starting the teenage years, I want to start seeing some sense.
Yes.
And at that point, I may start withdrawing some things just so you see that there's some work that's put into giving you these privileges. But before then, it's okay for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100% agree with you. I think there's that teenage years that we need to know that we're on the right track.
Yeah.
We're not building someone who at 25 will be like,
We'll say I'm at fault.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's perfectly aligns with me. Two things I want to bring up before we wrap up.
Yeah, we
First
still
thing,
have 5 minutes.
do you think that for parenting, a lot of the parenting we do is for like performance and it's comparative? Or is it genuinely because we're like, okay, I want to raise a child who will become a sufficient adult? Or is it more like, because when I think back on like our parents' generation, they're like, my daughter is a doctor. My son has done this one.
I guess I would say my son is in AI. Oh, go.
Is it like performative parenting?
Yeah.
Or is it like they actually desire that this person should really, really succeed?
I think it's both. And honestly, now that I've experienced parenting, like the work it takes to raise a good human being is a lot of work. So now I will take pride.
Yes.
My daughter is on the basketball team.
I tried.
Let me be taking what I can take now. I can't wait.
You can take it.
As I can take it. You
Yes.
know, because it's a lot of work. And so now I understand why people want those tiny things to make themselves feel good, that they are raising their daughters well. I mean, there's a balance. Don't intimidate other parents with your child that may or may not be doing well. But that story for another day.
I feel like parents also embellish. They need to over-embellish.
She's smart for her age. Have you checked China? Have you gone to China to check what her age mates are doing? Every day. People say she's smart for her age. One person said it in church. One person said it in church.
Like, what, 6 months ago? I've never evaluated again.
Exactly. They've not done, that person didn't even see them in whatever context, but in church. But yeah, she's smart for her age.
Yeah.
Like, bro. So take what you want to take. I know it's a lot of work parenting. So if it gives you some pride or joy that she's a doctor, take it.
Yes. At least it works.
At least
you contributed. So once you contributed to the doctorship. Yeah. Okay. The last thing I wanted to bring up is we grew up in an African context. And when we look at a lot of adult, not a lot, but to some extent, some adult men from the African context, there's a sense of like entitlement from those men towards their spouses, of like how they should be treated, or even their siblings, how they should be treated, how they should be spoken to. So how do you think, or what are your thoughts around how boys versus girls are brought up within the African context, and how that may or may not breed entitlement as they grow up?
Yeah. No, I think we need an entire episode for that topic.
Yes,
honestly,
we'll give this as a teaser.
Yes. Because like, especially when you think about this context we're all living in now.
Okay.
Where we're out of our African countries and the places we grew up, and in this context, I see a lot of men struggling.
Yes.
A lot of men that grew up where I grew up, that are my friends or like acquaintances, because like they don't know how to operate in this world. Where that woman, where they were supposed to be bigger than.
Yes.
She's bigger. She's so big.
Yeah, because she can handle the friction, the multitasking,
everything.
the difficulty
She's making more money.
Yeah.
She's making money that makes you feel like you're nothing.
Yeah.
She will totally survive without you.
Yeah.
Not just survive, enjoy life. In fact, you are the reason she's not enjoying as much. So I feel like there's a lot of retraining that needs to happen.
Yes.
I also feel like women should start being holding themselves as well to a higher standard. You're well raised, you're doing better than this guy. Why you man? Just because and we need to
that's a separate thing that we'll tease now, but get into it in more depth. I agree with you. I feel that that sense of entitlement stems from just removing a lot of the difficulty that helps people or helps children grow to be self-reliant adults. So, for example,
they don't know how to cook.
They don't just basic things that you need to know.
Go on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that to some extent the mothers may or could have done more.
Yes.
Could have done more.
Yeah,
and part of me thinks right now with our generation, are we actually being conscious about that and putting in place, at least to some extent, systems or approaches where we're raising our boys better to be more self-reliant.
And also stop over-raising the girls.
Yeah, exactly. Stop over-raising the girls.
Because everything just scatter.
Yes. Stop over-raising the girls.
Like everything you've been prepared 20 years for this marriage, you may or may not.
You may or may not even want.
Yes. Right? So there's that. But I don't think our generation will really have a choice. We have to, because we'll deal with your son.
Yeah, please. They're not my daughter.
The women that are exposed and their fathers are loving them anyhow.
Yeah, what I
they are the ones that 6 months they've divorced him.
Yes, no.
We are also a generation that's not as patient as our moms or our dads, right?
Yes.
So, you better raise your son.
Yes, because you will collect.
Even at work, they will send him out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Doyin, do you want to wrap us up for the episode?
Thank you for watching this episode. It was a fun one. We enjoyed all the conversations, but we know some of these topics are hot. So let us know what you think, your experience with parenting, and what your expectations are of your kids as well. Anyway, we'd like to wrap up the episode, and we hope you join us for the next one. It will be fun, we promise.
Yes, you'll have a good time. Okay, guys.
All right, bye.